What up, y'all? This is Decode Dating, and I'm back with another video. It's been a long time. I haven't posted in like 4 months. I'm not going to make any more excuses. Yes, I have been busy, but that's no excuse to drop a video at least once a week. So I'm going to be more consistent with dropping weekly videos. I want to drop at least 2 videos a week. If not, I should be dropping more, but hey. So, the title of this video, and y'all can see, is LTR. If you don't know what LTR is, it is a long-term relationship. So if y'all don't know, the main thing about my whole platform and what I built Decode Dating on is healthier relationships, right? So what I strive for is an LTR, long-term relationships. Now, not everybody has the same, views as I do or the same mindset as I do, but I think marriage is a very, very beautiful thing. Through the state, not so much, but it's understandable for some. But as you can see, that the divorce rates are very high compared to years ago, right? In the 1950s, booming. Now, on the downfall. So, if you want an LTR, I'm going to give you some examples on what a healthy LTR looks like and what some negatives in an LTR can look like, right? So, qualities of an LTR. I would say in a long-term relationship, both you have similar interests, both you are compatible, and both y'all look for the same things for the future, right? Some people might want to have kids. Some people might just want to travel and don't want to procreate. And that's fine. Not everybody wants the same thing. That's cool, right? So that's something you would have to discuss with your lady or with your man about what you guys want for future endeavors. Me personally, I already have a son. My girl, she has 2. Most likely we're going to end up blending families. As of right now, that's something we don't have to worry about. Okay. So, common disagreements in an LTR, right? Some common disagreements off the top of the head. You might not agree on a place to live, right? I know that's a big step, but if it's a long-term relationship, an LTR, you guys are going to eventually want to live together if that's something you guys are interested in. If you guys both want your separate household, cool. I don't see any, thing wrong with that. Some people might say, hey, listen, I want to cuddle with my girl and I would have to get in the car and drive to her, or let's walk down the block. Everybody's different, like I said before, but common disagreements is living situations, right? Now, say if your career choice is in a different state and you make more money going to a different state, and your girl or boyfriend is in the state that you're currently at now. I'm in Brooklyn, so say me being in Brooklyn and my girl right now is in Jersey, but I had an opportunity to go to, let's say, Florida for some business opportunity. And I told her, hey, listen, I got to move up there. Are you going to come with me? That might be a disagreement because she might say, hey, listen, I have my stuff going up here, and I know you have stuff going on for you up there. So that is a hard thing to, talk about. And there can be some compromising in there. Some people might look at it as a negative and some people might look at it as a positive, but it can happen. So another thing that LTR consists of is communication, right? Now, I say this all the time. I can communicate to you however, whenever, it doesn't matter, right? If you don't understand what I'm communicating to you, it really is no point of talking. So one thing is communicating, how to communicate better and how to understand each other better. So for instance, I'll give you a scenario. If me and her had a disagreement about the living situation, right? And I said, hey, it's a big business opportunity. I'm going to be making double what I make up here now if I move to Miami, right? And she says, well, that's good for you, but what about us? Now, me understanding that that might be frustrating for her and frustrating for me, I'll say, hey, listen, when's a better time, this is me communicating, for us to have this conversation, maybe over dinner or something, to set the mood right? Because now if we're both clashing and bumping heads, we're never going to agree on anything, right? So common disagreements. You want to take the dis out of it, and you want an agreement. So say, hey, listen, right now is not the right time. I'm a little flustered. I got a lot of stuff going on at work. Let's talk about it tonight over dinner after work. Cool. That give you a couple hours to gather your thoughts, maybe write down some stuff, maybe come up with a game plan to say, hey, listen, I have a better idea. Maybe I can move out there with you for 3 months, see how it is. Maybe I can find another job. And if I don't find nothing, I'll move back, and then we'll meet up later on and see how we can fix it. Stuff like that happens, right? There, you go from the communication to the understanding, because everybody is not going to see your perspective on what you have planned out, right? And that's when it comes into compromising, right? So, some examples of what I noticed for me personally on my skills of having a long-term relationship. My longest relationship was 5 years, and I was legally married. So, the big issue with that was there was no understanding at all from each other, you know? I wasn't doing what I was supposed to. I could admit I wasn't being a man. I wasn't on my grind. I didn't have the masculine attributes that she would want from me. Like, I wasn't taking lead. And most women, let's be real, especially in America, want a man that can lead. And I wasn't doing that. So I could be 100% honest with that. So that will make the relationship fail. Because I tell men all the time, you have to be the provider, protector, and the person to give provision. You cannot be the person that's at the back. You have to be in the forefront, right? So if a woman sees that, she's going to be turned off. And she might try to stick it out for a while, but at the end of the day, her hypergamous mindset is going to want to leave you. So what I've noticed being in an LTR is that I have to maintain masculine frame. I have to be in that dominant leader position, and I have to make sure my woman is secure. I'm not telling any woman to just automatically trust any man. That's when discernment comes in. If you can't have discernment to say, this man I see as of right now, put your feelings to the side. Women, I know it's hard for you to put your feelings to the side, but when you use your discernment and see, okay, this man is doing everything he said he was going to do. His actions matches his words. Some people just talk and there's no action. But people talk and do, then you understand that that person is doing what they're supposed to and doing what they said. Now you can trust in their leadership. If one person just speaks and doesn't do anything, they're just talking to talk. It's a waste of time, right? So that's what I've noticed personally in LTRs. Now, on the women's side, women will get complacent, right? Men too, you know what I'm saying? But a woman will get complacent to say, I have him already. I don't have to do any wifely duties, you know? And I tell women all the time, if you're not doing a wifely duty for your potential husband, he'll never put a ring on your finger. You'll sit there and wait years wondering, why did he propose to me? What's going on? And then you'll start thinking you have the leverage. Trust me, if this is a man that you want to marry, he has the leverage because other women want him too. Your S&V might be high in the dating market, but trust me, just like how you want him, other women want him too, all right? So I suggest women to find that man that has a program set and follow his program, because he will help you get further in life, and you can help him get further in life. You guys are supposed to complement each other inside the LTR. A lot of people are looking for instant gratification nowadays. They're in STR, short-term relationships. They don't want nothing long. They just want to chill and be like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to travel a little bit. Next 2 years, they break up and going to go somebody else. I personally think if I had to put a timing on it, STRs last from a year to 2 years, maybe 3. LTRs is 3 and up, you know? And that's when you really start having to think about, okay, what are we doing? Are we going to get married? Are we going to live together? You know, are we going to have kids? That's the real big talk when you start getting 3 years and up, okay? So I'm going to tell you some benefits and some negatives, so positive and negatives in LTRs that can happen. It's unfortunate. There's no such thing as a perfect relationship as much as people think, right? You're not going to be happy all the time. You're not going to be happy. And I'll say this, you don't want to be happy all the time. If your dopamine receptors are firing all the time, you're going to seek another high. So sometimes you want to have that, calm, mellow type of love, and then boom, out of nowhere, spontaneous, sporadic type of fun and enthusiasm. Now, if you're in a relationship that's always boring, hey, this is when the communication and the understanding has to come into play. Now, I say this all the time. I take my woman out and I make sure she has fun every time I see her. I'm in a long term, well, I can't say long term because we haven't been dating that long, but I'm in a long distance relationship, I should say. I'm in here in Brooklyn and then she's in New Jersey. She's 60 miles away from me. So that plays a role in every time I see her. I might see her once a week. I might see her twice a week. I might see her every other week. So every 2 weeks, I might see her, sometimes 3. So when I do meet up with her, I'll make sure everything is set. Okay, what are we doing? Okay, we're going to go out to eat, and then we're going to get a hotel together and stay together, watch a movie and stuff like that. Or I have an event to go to. The other week, last week, I had went to my brother's MMA fight, and she came with me, and we shared the weekend together. From Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we went home. So certain things, like I say, with your relationship, you have to plan it out. You guys can't be in a relationship and not still date each other. There's no point. You're gonna get bored of each other, right? So I'll talk about the positive. Now I'll say the negatives first. I like to give the bad news. So negatives in an LTR, right? Compromising. This can go hand in hand. Two things can be true at once. Compromising can be positive also, but compromising can be hard if some people don't want to follow the compromise. So, like I said before, with the whole living situation, um, one might not agree to compromise. Most likely, the person who makes the most money will say, "Hey, we're moving here." So let's put it in a different way, right? Now, say if I'm a NFL player and I make millions of dollars, and she works a regular 95, 9 to 5, and she's making 80K a year, 70K a year. Now, with my money, most of the time she would say I would follow suit because he's gonna take care of me. My 80K doesn't really mean nothing to him, so he can, provide for the both of us. Now, that might upset her because I might be moving out of the way of her family, and I might be moving out of the way for her friends. So she might be comfortable where she's at. So compromising can hurt the relationship, but that's up to you to decide, right? Second, I would say complacency. This happens so much. I want men to understand something, right? You might get a woman that you deem as an 8 or a 7. The longer you stay with her, I'll say this, each year or maybe every 2 years, she goes down a half a point. I don't like to do half a point, but I'm just going to do it for the sake of the video. So say if you meet her and I'll give her the highest number, an 8. 9s and 10s are very rare. But say if you have an 8, what you perceive her as, in 2 years, she's going to be a 7.5. In the next 2 years, she's going to be a 7. In the next 2 years, she's going to be a 6.5. To you, it will eventually start going down in looks. That's for the men. Now, men, you can be complacent also. So, ladies, hear me out. If you're with a man and he starts getting complacent, he doesn't want to work as much, he's getting lazy, he's not working out. This goes hand in hand too with men and women. You want to stay attractive for your spouse. You don't want to start saying, "Hey, I got them already, I'm going to be ugly." You want to be sexy for each other. Y'all want to stay attracted to each other because just like how you guys met each other in the beginning, you want to keep that same sexual attraction because there's other people out there that probably want the person that you're with. You got to really think about that. You might not think, "Oh, she's a 7 now. I've been with her for 5 to 10 years." Okay. I don't know. Or she's a 6 now. I've been with her for 5 to 10 years. Some other dude that sees her thinks she's a fucking 9, and then he wants her because he didn't experience that yet. Same thing goes for a woman. She might think, "Oh, I don't really like him that much no more. He dropped a few points in my eyes. He's like a 7 now." Guess what? Another woman might want him, right? So don't be complacent inside a relationship. Relationships are not easy. Like I said before, no relationship is perfect. It's a job. It's something you have to upkeep. It just goes on how bad do you want it. If you don't want it as bad, okay, kick it to the curb. Somebody else will take your spot. That's how it is. And three, I would say the same thing goes with complacency is losing attraction. I just explained it. Be attracted to each other is going to drop some points. That's the unfortunate side of things. And that's how it is in, I would say, a lot of relationships, right? Now, fuck all the negatives. Here's the positive. All right. Number one is companionship. I say companionship is very important because let's be real. If we dissect it and put it back to only biology and strip all the material things out of it, right? The main thing you want in life as humans is to survive and procreate, right? Now, the best side about all of that is when you do start a family, and if you do decide to start a family, you have that companionship. You have somebody to experience stuff with, and that's going to lead into two. So the second positive thing I would say is shared experience, right? Now, shared experience can be, some people might say, hey, we made a baby together. That's a shared experience. For the people who don't want kids, you can say, hey, me and her or me and him traveled together. We traveled to all 50 states. We went overseas. We went to the safari. We went to the pyramids. Y'all have shared experience because solo trips, I can say, could be fun, but sometimes you want to tap somebody, be like, hey, did you see that? You know, y'all in a movie, you could watch a movie by yourself, but laughing with somebody who has the similar interests as you feels a whole lot better, you know? So shared experiences are another positive thing. And last but not least, for the positive side, is support. So men love support from their women because at the end of the day, we don't feel like we get enough support, right? It could be me projecting, but hey, I'm just saying. Um, there's emotional support and financial support, right? So men love the emotional support, I would say, as far as if he has a business he wants to start, if he has a YouTube channel he's doing, you know, if he has, you know, a social media presence or a fitness thing that he's doing, you know, and the woman says, yo, babe, you got this, or she's saying, I'm gonna help you get more clients, or I'm gonna support you, I'm gonna share your video, stuff like that helps the man go far because he says, hey, my lady is really supporting me on what I really want to do. And I'm not saying like he's doing some extreme vulgar shit. I'm not saying support none of that, right? Because there's limitations. If your moral compass doesn't agree with what he's doing, don't do it. Same thing goes for the lady. If you're supporting her, say she wants to do makeup, hair, you know, lashes, nails, if she wants to start a clothing business, cool. Support her on that. But I'm not saying support her if she wants to do OnlyFans or porn and you're there sitting being a cuck. If that's not what you want, then don't support that. You know, that's just going over the top. Now she's really, or he's really trying to push your buttons, right? And then support as in financial. If, you know, like I said before, you want to start your business and they say, oh, here's $500 so you get the equipment you need. Same thing with the woman. She sees you starting your fitness business, YouTube, she's like, oh, babe, I bought you a new camera. Or babe, I bought you some new shoes for your fitness and stuff like that. When the two get together and support each other, the LTR will go far. LTR will go far. I like that. You know what I'm saying? So those are my few things on LTRs. I do really try to push this message a lot. You know, you might go on my Instagram and might see me talking shit, but I shed the light on the negative to show what you don't want. And then when I do talk about the positive, which I'm glad that my 3 top videos on Instagram, go check them out, that's pinned right now, are positive. I got one with women smiling when they see their husband. The second one is a woman basically talking about how to stay feminine and be soft, and the man will do what you want. And the third is basically a couple still dating, having children years later. And that one is at 500,000 plus likes and 4 million views. So I'm glad that the positive messages are getting out there more. It's a good thing to see. And the stuff that I say negative is basically people who cling to negativity, because let's be real, most of us do. So yeah, LTR, long-term relationships, That's the video. I'm like I said before, I'm definitely gonna be more consistent with making YouTube videos. I want to drop at least 2 a week. I should be dropping every day. It's a lot of material I should be talking about. But yes, I got some things coming. When I have time to make more videos, I'm definitely dropping them. I'm gonna be on the Bloom Pop Sunday this week because today's Thursday. Yeah, so tune in for that. I might talk about that because I really gotta go get viral and talk my shit. So yeah, that's it. Until next time, thank you.